What's going on, Warriors? Welcome back to another episode of EU4 for Noobs. And guys, we are getting back into this series because I'm excited about this. Guys, I like the feeling of knowing that I'm teaching people about this game. Alright? I like it. I like it a lot. Anyways, so if you're enjoying this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and join the Discord server. It helps out so much. It's like press the play button and anyway, thank you so much to Shem for being my Patreon supporter. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, you know, Patreon and chill, if you know what I mean. 5 minutes into Patreon chill and it gives you this look, right? Am I right? Anyway, thank you so much to Shem for being my Patreon supporter. If you'd like to be my Patreon supporter and have a shout out in all these videos, then please feel free to, click the link down in the description below. I'm going to put my phone on the thing. But yes. So, you may have noticed by now that the video for Heart of a Warrior has come out on my channel, and guys, that song is so cool. Alright, but anyways, we gotta talk more about this game, alright? We're already a minute into the video, we haven't mentioned anything about the game. Alright, so, I figured now this video would probably be a good time to talk about trade, alright? Because we're not really at war right now. We're trying to recover a little bit, right? We need to recover some manpower. Our maximum manpower is about 30,000, and we only have about 15,500. So, you know, it's a little bit down there, right? So and I also want to talk about national focus, which I'm going to do. So, oh, admin power, cool. We need that. So for national focus. Alright, hold on, is there any that's like... Whoa, hold on, this guy's super cheap. Yeah, hire that guy. We still get the extra admin power from having the advisor, but he's way less expensive because he's 110 monthly. This guy's 55 monthly. Now that's because we got him from an event. Anyways, guys, so you may notice if you have the proper expansion, I don't remember exactly what you need for national focus, but if you have the proper expansion, then you may notice that there are these buttons in your court view. Well, these are the national focus buttons, and if you do not have a national focus, then you will get a base of 3 of every monarch power, plus your monarch, plus your advisors. Now, guys, you may see right here on mine that it says National Focus -1. This says National Focus -1, and this says National Focus +2. That means that we are focusing on military, and I think that we did that at the beginning of the game, or it may have set it there automatically. But I'm going to explain this right now, and basically you can choose, you say, okay, wait, I'm way short on admin power, so we're going to switch our national focus to that, which is exactly what we're going to do. What that's going to do is it's going to take 1 away from diplomatic power and 1 away from military power each month, and it's going to give us +2 in admin power. Now, that results in a net gain of... that's the net gain. The gross gain would be 3 for admin power, because currently it's reduced by 1. So it would stop being reduced by 1, and then it would increase by 2. That's a gross gain of 3. We're going to be gaining 7 admin power per month. Click. 7. Now this is down to 4 and 4. Okay? It would be down to 4 and 3, but, ow, jeez. But we have a 112 ruler, not a 111. Terrible ruler, by the way. And we really need to focus on admin power. So we're going to do this. Now, guys, this is not a big, huge bonus right up front, all right? This is just a thing where it's, you know, it's a long-term bonus. And a lot of these things, guys, are very long-term, all right? So you got to keep that in mind. Next, I'd like to explain a little bit more about trade. Let's take a look at trade. First of all, let's take a look at our economy. Doing just fine. We've got a little bit of inflation, but that's kind of okay. We're increasing inflation because we have gold. Inflation basically just increases the cost for everything. So it's bad. It's definitely bad. So, let's see. We need some light ships. And we are going to get some light ships. How many sailors? Oh, we're at maximum sailors. So that's totally fine. And we're going to be gaining slowly an extra, like a little bit more in our maximum sailors because this autonomy is going down, right? the autonomy of Gibraltar, Granada, and Almeria, they're all going down. And we actually have some autonomy in some other provinces, like Extremadura. Any other provinces? We could actually check. Yeah, only those 4 provinces that we have any autonomy in, other than the minimum. Okay, now there is like a minimum of 25, for example, Madrid, because it's controlled by the clergy, but, you know. Anyways, so, we're at basically maximum sailors. We're gonna get some light ships, right? We have a naval force limit of 22. We have 4 heavies. I think we're just gonna go up to 21, but I don't think we have enough ducats. Yeah, we don't have enough ducats, but let's just go up to 10. 10 lights, that'll be enough. Still gaining money, and each light, if you want to look at this, each light ship is only 0.04 ducats a month in maintenance, so they're very cheap. And the galleys are 0.03, and as are the transports, but the heavy ships are 0.38, and that's a lot. Wait, what is reducing them? Do we have any, like, ship cost modifier, or... Heavy ship cost, maybe? Heavy ship cost plus 1.8. Is there a naval maintenance modifier here? Yeah, minus 15% because we have fleet and being, so it's all reduced by 15%. It's normally like a little over half a ducat. And Navarra has claimed Asturias, and also Vizcaya and Rioja, but we don't care about them. They're actually a vassal of Aragon right now. Dang it, man. Dang it, son. Alright. So, let's talk a little bit about trade. So, we're getting light ships, and the light ships are going to basically add some trade power to this trade node. Or whatever trade node we protect trade in. Now, we could protect it in Genoa, but it doesn't really make any sense because we don't have any provinces in Genoa, right? So, it makes sense to protect it in Sevilla because that's where we have 38% control over Sevilla, the trade node. All right, and we might actually get into a little bit about talking about buildings this episode because that is that ties into trade a little bit and how we can sort of wrestle control of our trade node. So let's take a look at these, guys. These numbers might be quite overwhelming, and to be honest, they're still overwhelming for me. Also, advancement of the clergy is not good. All right, so first of all, you need to remember that we have envoys that are built for trade, and they are called merchants. We have 2 merchants, and that is the base. The base is 2 merchants. You can gain merchants through other things, such as ideas, which, again, we have not talked about, but we will. National ideas will give you merchants. Sometimes temporary modifiers can give you merchants, things like that. In general, merchants are good. Okay, for the most part. Sometimes you just have so many and you don't really know what to do with them, and you kind of get diminishing returns. But 2 is not a whole lot, all right? Now, there are 2 things that a merchant can do. And those things, when you send them to a trade node, they can either collect from trade or they can transfer trade power. Now, we cannot actually transfer trade here when I'm not quite sure why, actually. I think it's because it's our home trade node. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's our home trade node, and that's why. So, but, you know, so we have 2 merchants. The first merchant we have is in Tunis, and that merchant is actually transferring trade power to Sevilla. Now, we have 10% of the trade power in Tunis. Don't ask me why, because I actually don't know why. Okay, can I see these modifiers here? Income plus 27%? No, oh, well, I don't like this one bit. I lose 1 stability. I'm gonna have to take that stability loss. Because there's a merchant. Now, if you have a merchant present in a trade node, it automatically gives you 2 trade power. Okay. Plus, I've got the trading policy. These things off to the side are trading policies, and they do different things. So hostile trading is going to increase your spy network construction. Remember, we had to create a spy network in order to fabricate claims, right? This one is for inland trade nodes, I think. Oh, no. That's improve inland routes. Okay, that's to increase... That's to increase your military presence in that trade node, but only if you have more than 50% trade power in that trade node. And then this one is improve relations, and this is if you are Muslim, then you can actually start to convert provinces in that trade node to Islam. All right, but we have 27 trade power. Let's see here. Transfers from traders downstream. Okay, so transfers from traders downstream. Some trade power actually gets transferred backward, which is, it's very strange to me. I don't actually know why and how much. But, let's see, trade power, province trade power, from light ships, income. Yeah, I actually don't know what happens to transfer trade upstream. I don't actually know, but that's giving us some trade there. It looks like we don't actually have any trade power in Alexandria, for example, which transfers to Tunis. Oh, no, it doesn't. It would be the other trade node, which we cannot see yet. All right. Well, anyway, so the trade value is how much money is in a trade node. So as you can see this quick window here. I don't like to pay too much attention to this one because it's quite overwhelming sometimes. You can actually look at the breakdown of the numbers here. But, you know, I just like the quick view right here, okay? So in this little window right here, you can see that the trade value is 5.7 ducats. All right, now that's not too bad, especially for the beginning of the game. All right, because if you look at Genoa, well, Genoa is an end node. That means that no trade from Genoa actually transfers out, right? It all comes into Genoa. The other two end nodes are Venice, which is 16.3, and the English Channel, which is 15.8. All right. There are other very valuable trade nodes that are not end nodes. For example, Constantinople's 8.4. Alexandria starts out as quite valuable, which is at 7.6. And then you've also got Lubeck, which is 15.1. That's very valuable, but it's not an end node. Also, sometimes Champagne or Bordeaux can sometimes become quite powerful. Depends on how powerful France is, really. But anyway, so we do not have an end node, but we do have kind of a valuable trade node, all right? That is how much money that is in the province. All right, now our trade power is how much of that money that we actually control. How much money are we getting, all right? So, oh, cool, we can actually do this. We need that admin tech. We need a lot of admin tech, by the way. Can we get Renaissance anytime soon? This is not spreading very quickly. Oh, but it is in the capital of Aragon. I think Aragon's embraced it. Yes, they have embraced it. They have indeed embraced it. And that's why it's spreading here at a rate of 0.41. I really want to do the state edict. And actually we are. We are going to. And increase the institution spread. Alright. So, I'm actually going to go back to trade. Alright, now we have 38% of it, and it does change over time based on ships and things like that. But we're going to go to 5.6 ducats. I'm going to take out a calculator, 5.6, and then we have 38%, so 0.38. So we're actually getting 2.128. Now let's see here. 2.128. Trade value in the node is 5.61. Is there any way? Okay, so 2.128, but we are collecting that much. Wait, trade power share is 55%. Why? Affecting actual income plus 15% from technology plus 2%. This is okay. Guys, I'm also trying to figure this out, so just bear with me for a second. The income is plus 17%. So how does 2.128 ducats translate to 3.67? Anyways, guys, the point is, okay, the point is that the trade value is how much money that is in a trade node, and the trade power is how much control over that money you have. we also have all of our light ships built. So we can actually go over here, we can click this, and we can click select mission, okay? And then we're gonna protect trade. And what this is gonna do is for every single light ship, it's going to give us 2 trade power to whatever we're doing. So right now we have 154.8 trade power, but it's actually gonna increase our trade power by 20. Now watch what that does. We have 154 trade power right now, and watch. Wait for the month to tick over, and it should say about 174. Now remember, things can change a little bit, but it's 178, so it actually is changing a little bit. And I think it's also because there are modifiers that affect your trade power, like for example your power projection, right? Power projection, one of those little modifiers that it gives you is global trade power. That's trade power in every single province that you have trade power in. All right. And then what else is modifying our trade power? Transfer from Safi. Okay, so when we're transferring from other trade nodes, it also increases our trade power by 10%. And then our prestige also is reducing our trade power a little bit. So as our prestige comes up, then we're going to be gaining more trade power in here, which means we have more control. And as you can see, we're actually making over 4 ducats a month now, partially because we lost one of our advisors, but let's see. Well, I would like to do that trade efficiency, but I guess we'll just do the morale of navies. That's fine. Okay, now there are also some buildings. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about buildings, because how can you improve your trade power? Well, remember, trade power is how much control that you have over the trade node. So you probably want to gain more control over it. So how do you do that? Well, one way is through buildings. One way, of course, is by giving land to the burghers. For example, see this province right here, if you give this land to the burghers, then you actually increase the local trade power by 50%, which is pretty huge. Let's see, it only increased their influence to 54.1. So actually it's going to ignore local autonomy for production efficiency, trade power, naval force limit, and local sailors. So that's a good idea to give this province to the burghers. We're going to give it to them. Boom. Now we have 46 trade power here. Watch how much more trade power we have now. Watch. When the month takes over. 192. Now we're making 2.53 up from whatever it was before. Okay. Next we have some buildings, all right? And when you click buildings, there are a lot of different things here. But one of the things that you can actually increase, because this is an important center of trade, and it's a level 2 important center of trade. This is a level 1, which is an emporium. They're named differently based on whether they're inland or coastal. See, level 1 coastal is a natural harbor. Level 1 inland is called an emporium. Level 3 is a world port, and I believe Genoa. Yeah, Genoa is a world port. And level 3 inland, I don't know if there are any level 3 inlands right now. I don't know. But level 3 inland is called a World Trade Center. Okay. Anyway, so you can spend money and you can actually increase the trade power in this province, right? But we're not going to do that. We're going to build a building. We click an empty building slot and we can see all of these buildings that are available to us. But most of them we cannot build because of technology. The only ones we can actually build are the castle, which we start out with the ability to build. I think, when do you technically get that? Level 1 technology, which means literally everyone in the entire game can build a castle, except native councils. So I said literally, but native councils in North America cannot do that. Our queen died. Oh. I gain 100 admin power. I need that. That's not good that we don't have a consort. Anyway, but we can also build this taxation building, which will increase the local tax modifier, which increases this value. It's an additive bonus, okay, by 40%. So if we actually build this here, then it'll actually... Why does it say 30% here? I'm not sure why it says 30% there. But it's supposed to be 40%, and it will actually increase our income every month by 0.17. But we want to build this trade building, all right? Because this is local trade power plus 50%, and we already have a lot of bonuses here, but so it's not going to increase it by 50% of 46, which is what it is now. It's going to increase it by 50% more of 23, which is the original value, because the bonuses are actually additive, okay? Local autonomy is multiplicative, which means it takes everything and then it multiplies, like it adds up all the bonuses, gets the final number, and then multiplies it by the local autonomy. Well, that's multiplicative. This bonus is just additive, so it's going to tack on another 50% modifier to that. So instead of it increasing it by 95%, because the base is 100% trade power efficiency, if we add another 50% to that, then it's going to be increasing it by 145%, which it's a huge modifier, but it's not going to be the same as what it looks like on the surface. All right, so keep that in mind. We're going to build it. It's going to cost about 100 ducats, but I think it's going to be worth it because in the long term, right, this game is all about long-term gain. All right, in the long term, we're going to gain a lot of stuff from it. Okay, let's take a look at our force limit. We're actually 1 over force limit. All right, so the fact that we are 1 over force limit is actually costing us 0.6 ducats a month, which is huge, okay, because cavalry is 0.53 ducats a month. Now, if we just delete one of those, delete one of these infantry, we can first of all save the amount of the infantry, which is 0.21, but we can also save that extra 0.6 because we will not be exceeding our force limit, right? So because of that, now it does become exponential, so you can go more over your force limit, but it's going to cost exponentially more and more, so you better be prepared to pay for it. Naval force limit increases much slower, or the penalty for being over your naval force limit, that increases much slower, but your land force limit increases very fast, the penalty increases very fast. So we want to get rid of one of these infantry here. Alright, boom. We got rid of one of the infantry, and now we're making over 3 ducats a month, even with 2 advisors. And we actually could get a 3rd advisor here and still be making more than 2 ducats a month. We're making almost 3.5 ducats a month. But we're going to leave it there for now because we have plenty of military power comparatively to the rest of our powers. All right, we just need admin power, and that's basically it. We can also abdicate. So basically when your heir is of age, which is 15 years old, you can abdicate, which is where you lose 20 legitimacy and you lose 50 prestige, and your ruler just gives up the throne. And we're actually going to do that. It's going to be worth it in our case because we have a horrible ruler and a fantastic heir that we want to rule for as long as humanly possible. So, you can see these are traits, by the way, of the monarch. You can see, there are some bad traits and some good traits, but those are not like too important. They're nice to have when you have a good trait, but anyways. Now this legitimacy, by the way, I think it's after it takes into account the claim. So this has a strong claim, which means I believe that your legitimacy will start at like 80 to 100. So it's going to take that claim and then reduce that by 20. And then we're going to lose 50 prestige. I think it's worth losing 50 prestige, honestly. We're also going to lose 1 stability. It doesn't say this, but if you're a monarchy, then you actually lose 1 stability. And I think I've mentioned this before. If you're a monarchy, you lose 1 stability when your monarch dies. We're going to click this. Boom. Boom. Now see, our claim was actually at a 98, but it was reduced by 20. Okay. Royal marriage from Portugal. Boom. We got a new consort. Okay, prince consort. And that's from the Avi dynasty, which means... Oh gosh. If my ruler dies right now, then Aragon and France go to war to... Oh, a free stability. Well, don't mind if I do. I kind of want to increase stability right now. Just so I can get another free one. Should I do that? But the thing is, I really need this admin power. I think I'm just going to get the stability. Alright, so let's take into account our estates. So these estates... I think I've mentioned this before. I think I've talked about estates before, but there are different interactions that you can do in order to gain certain things from your estates. So your loyalty... Yeah, you know what? I have already talked about it. I've already talked about it. I don't need to talk all about it again. I can also mention the Holy Roman Empire, okay? I want to kind of, like, get all this explanation, like, not out of the way, but I want to, like, put it up front so that you guys understand what's going on. In Central Europe, there is a political entity called the Holy Roman Empire, and that is modeled with, or it's displayed with this political map, or this map mode. I'm talking so much so fast. Anyways, the green displays countries, or provinces technically, that are part of the Holy Roman Empire. The purple is the Emperor, Holy Roman Emperor. The orange are electors, and the blue are free cities. Alright, so free cities are like, you're not supposed to conquer them because then the Emperor gets really mad at you. The electors are the people that actually choose the Emperor. Okay, so Austria is the elector, and most of the, the Emperor, and most of the electors are voting for Austria. And, you know, when you are Emperor, then you can, you know, do those diplomatic actions. You could grant free city status if it's like a one province minor or something like that. And then also, if you are Emperor, you get those benefits there. You get yearly prestige, more advisors, more leaders without upkeep, things like that. In addition to getting a crap ton of money and manpower and force limit, do you see that land force limit plus 26? That's a flat bonus. That's not a percentage bonus. Anyway, now as time goes on, the empire will build up in, is this? The empire will build up in imperial authority. When they build up enough imperial authority, then you can... Oh, yes, the Iberian wedding. Okay, I'm going to explain this. Then you can pass reforms, all right? So when this reform is passed, then, you know, the emperor gets those modifiers, and then members also get those modifiers. And then, you know, over time, it's centralizing the thing more and more. When you get this one, people within the Holy Roman Empire can no longer go to war with each other. This one is where the same country always is Holy Roman Empire. And then this one is where every single country in the Holy Roman Empire becomes a vassal of... Either becomes a vassal of the Holy Roman Emperor, or just leaves the Holy Roman Empire, and then the Emperor gets a claim. And then finally, the last one is where you unite the thing into one country. Now, the Holy Roman Empire never actually did this in real life, but you can do that. Renovatio Imperii. Anyway, there will be blood. Okay, I don't care. The Iberian wedding. So this is a unique event, and this is partially why I wanted to abdicate, because first of all, look at how many monarch points we're now getting. But second of all, the Iberian wedding can trigger if you have a female ruler and Aragon has a male ruler, which they do. They're a male ruler, right? So this is an event that actually gives you a personal union with Aragon. Let us bind their dynasty to ours, and that is basically where they don't hate us anymore. Like right now, they hate us, but we're no longer going to be historical rivals, right? Because right now are they? Oh, they're not historical rivals. It's just rival, but they're no longer going to be our rivals. They're not going to hate us. And Austria hates us, right? And we have to fight off some rebels in Almeria. But other than that, it's a pretty good thing. If you say no to let us marry local talent instead, then you gain a free stability, and Aragon doesn't like you. Why would you ever do that, though? Because, you know, so let us bind their dynasty to ours. Let's do that. And let's also go over here to the mountains first, because we want to defend in the mountains. This is good. We're about to get a personal union over Aragon, and I will explain what that is before the end of this episode, so do not fear. You can also increase diplomatic tech. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, you do that. Boom. We get some rebels. Personal union. Yes, we also have a personal union with... Okay, So a lot just happened. We also have a personal union with Naples, and the reason for that is that Aragon actually had a personal union with Naples, but since Aragon is now my subject, Naples is also my subject, which means we just got a crap ton more powerful. We went from controlling only this stuff to this, and this, and this. So it's a lot of stuff. Now we are actually considered a great power. We're considered the world's 5th great power. So now we get to have some special powers, all right? And I will explain those in another video, but I'll explain briefly what a personal union is. We've also fulfilled a mission. Claims in Aragon. 100 diplomatic power? Yeah, I'm okay with that. Plus 10 prestige. I'm so okay with that. I'm totally freaking okay with that. All right. Now, we've got kind of an issue here because these... What? Oh, Castile is negative prestige. Whoa, that's not good. Can we get like a prestige person? No? Well, that's sort of bad, I think. Support loyalists? We could do that. Alright, so basically there's subjects under us. They have to go to war with, like, on our side. If we get attacked, then they go to war with us. And as long as they don't have, you know... Hold on. If they have Naples, I don't know what I'm going to do about Naples. I think I just have to increase their opinion. I just have to improve relations. If they have less than 50% liberty desire, then they will join you and actually fight with you. Their armies will fight with you in wars. Who do I want to rival? I don't actually know. Should I rival Burgundy? Burgundy's going to disappear eventually. And I also have an heir, Maria. Venice? I could do Venice, but Venice is just so powerful navally, I would never be able to do anything about them. Let's rival Burgundy just for now. Alright. Now, there are different estate interactions that we can do. The one that I saw was, or that I showed you guys was support loyalists, which is where I pay 2 ducats a month, but I reduced their liberty desire by 20%. For the duration of that. Now, I'm getting prestige, so I'm going to be reducing that modifier that's increasing the liberty desire, but it's going to take a little while, right? Yeah, and there's also a decision that I can take, form Spanish nation diplomatically, where if I have admin tech level 10 and then I have 100 legitimacy, then I can actually instantly just integrate Aragon. Okay, and then I form the country of Spain, all right? So I actually become Spain. I get permanent claims on Iberia, except for the islands. Alentejo? Yeah. Except for, no. Except for Portugal. I get permanent claims on the rest of Iberia, just not Portugal. All right, this is military tech. That's fine. I really need to get the admin tech, and I was hoping we could talk about ideas in this video, but I guess we won't be able to. That being said, guys, I'm going to end this episode. I want to thank everyone so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and join the Discord server. It helps out so much. Thank you so much to Shem for being my Patreon supporter. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, then please feel free to leave a like. No, please feel free to click the link down in the description below. That being said, I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.